Hi, this is Patrick Clasen with Ecotech Marine. I'm here at MACNA 2016 here in San Diego, and we're showing off our new Radion G4 LED. The Radion G4 is completely redesigned from the ground up. We have a new lens, we have a new heatsink design, and a new color here for the introduction. So the thing we're really proud of about the G4 is the lens design. Now you can see here that when you touch the lens, it's actually bubble lens design called the HEI. The HEI stands for Hemispherically Edge Illuminating Lens, and what that does is creates a totally different distribution of light below the fixture. With our Generation 3 lighting, we actually had a TIR lens that created a peak of light underneath the tank that gave you a nice spread but created a hot spot under the center of the cluster. Now the HEI lens, what it does is it spreads the light out into spheres and circles around and underneath the lens to create a plateau of light. So the peak intensity of this LED is actually lower than the intensity that was created by the Gen 3 Radion. However, the average par for the whole fixture is higher. So what we intended to do was to give more usable area of coverage with less hot spots underneath the light. We call it the coral sweet spot. It's somewhere between 100 and 250 par, and we have a wider range of area underneath the light that gives you more area to place your corals. You also have to worry less about burning a coral because you've got a really tight hot spot of light underneath the fixture itself. So an additional benefit of the HEI lens is that we get better color mixing. So you'll notice you really don't see any separation of colors underneath the fixture on the sand bed, and that gives you a more natural look within your aquarium. Another side effect of the HEI lens, a good one, is that due to the design, there's more dispersion, and that creates less shadowing underneath the corals. So we've got more angular light rays coming out, the photons are bouncing, and they're giving you more even illumination on the top and on the underside of the coral. The HEI lens is really the landmark feature of the Radion, but we didn't stop there. We also created a new puck that gives us more color. We slightly shifted the spectrum to a little bit more blue from the purple end, adding warm white LEDs, as well as a new red LED and a revised UV. Additionally to that, we give a new heatsink design, which allowed us to create better cooling capacity for the fan and for the light assembly. Now you can see here there's a new look to the side of the fixture, and what this does is it creates slots within the end cap to give better airflow through the chamber, and we've actually created small ridges on the heatsink fins to increase the surface area. This, combined with a greater mass of aluminum, allows the fan to do its job more quietly with less speed. This ultimately gives a quieter fixture, so if you have your aquarium in your living room or in your living space, it's more civilized. You don't have to worry about the lights creating noise that create a bothersome environment. Lastly, you can control the Radion through the same EcoSmart Live apps that you've always been able to do, but we have additional channels of color and control. So all the same great features you expected from the Gen 3, and we've enhanced a lot of these features and benefits to really target the consumer and help them to accomplish having a more successful reef aquarium. The Gen 4 is completely controllable via ESL, just like the Gen 3 Radions. Actually, it's also compatible, so if you're already running Gen 3s over your tank and you want to add an additional light, you can simply just program your Gen 4 and bring up the colors and brightness to mimic a very similar spectrum as the Gen 3. So definitely consider a mixed reef or a mixed number of radions over your reef a possibility, and expand your line or upgrade over time. We've also introduced through the Ecotech Coral Lab study new programs and templates that you can use to really grow corals in conjunction with some of the most advanced aquaculture facilities and the same types of templates that they're using in their coral grow out. And if you go on to ecotechmarine.com and search Coral Lab, you'll be able to find some of these studies where we look into the various types of colors that these aquaculture facilities are using, as well as par measurements in the various different types of frag tanks and grow outs. So by doing a study and finding what the most successful people in coral growth in the natural, the simulated environment of having this on terrestrial land, using their best techniques, we'll be able to find that out and communicate that to you through Ecotech Coral Lab. Thanks for stopping by and watching our video. Hopefully you are having great success, and we invite you to try and check out the new Gen 4s.